You ready to roll the dice? I'm not trying to prove that I'm number one. I'm leaving no doubt that I am number one. And I don't care where you're born or what you're acting. Wow.
The new season of $1 Million.
Folks, welcome to a very special edition in our training series. Guess who I'm with? He needs no introduction. Josh Altman from TV's $1 Million Listing Man. Thank you so much for hanging out, bud.
Of course, absolutely. Good to see you.
What a pleasure. So we're here today, folks, on your behalf to pick one of the sharpest brains in this industry on the planet. And, we're here to have a traditional Glenn Twiddle informal chat. So, man, thanks for hanging out, man. We're going to have some fun.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Cool. So, mate, for the benefit, I suppose, of these guys, we've got to get a few snippets of what it's like to work on a global TV show in 70 countries. Mate, give the guys an idea of what that's done for your career and how it all rolls.
I'll tell you this. There's nothing better than having an infomercial for your actual business. Yeah. And that's what the show has been for me. You know, when I started, when I moved out to Los Angeles, I started working in the mailroom. I was making $7.50 an hour. And I didn't know what I was going to do, and I was always looking for ways to make money. I had saved up money from all the jobs when I was growing up, and I ended up buying a condo with my brother. And we ended up flipping that condo and making some money, and then rolled into the next one and made more and more. Eventually, I got into the real estate side of it, the agent side, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to specialize in. I just went around and met with a ton of different companies in Beverly Hills because that's where I knew I wanted to be. That's where the most expensive houses are, right? So I met with all the companies in Beverly Hills, and I ended up going with one of them where I've been most of my career. And about 2-3 years into it, I started to get pretty good. And I got a call from $1 Million Listing. They were looking for a new person, and I went in for an interview, me and 400 other agents.
Wow.
And, they narrowed it down. They called me back. I thought I got the job, and they said, oh, no, we just narrowed it down from 400 to 200. Congratulations. Congratulations, you're in the top 200. And then another interview, and another one, and another one, and another one. Next thing you know, it got narrowed all the way down to 4 of us. Wow. And somehow I ended up getting the gig. I guess they didn't not like me too much, so that's always good. And the rest is history. $1 Million Listing has now been on for many years. It's actually our 8th season that we're filming right now. Mm-hmm. And I've been on for 5 seasons. So I've had a camera following me around selling high-end real estate nonstop, really, for the last 5 years. Mm-hmm. Business is better than ever. We sell probably somewhere about $1 million a day. So a little more than $300 million a year. Wow. And in our career, we broke the $1 billion sold mark. When I say we, I mean my brother Matt and I, because we're the Altman brothers. Mm-hmm. And the market out here in Los Angeles, it's on fire. We're seeing tons of overseas money coming in: Russian, Saudi, Chinese, Australian, Canadian, and with the interest rates low where they are right now, money's cheap to borrow. Mm-hmm. And so real estate's really strong. So we're lucky enough to have a good market, and everybody's pretty happy out here right now.
So I guess one of the questions that lends itself to me, and I've got $1 million, and I'm sure the viewers do as well, so I'm going to try and pass on as many of my guys who said, you've got to ask him this, you've got to ask him this. But the success you have now with the multi-million-dollar stuff, can you tell us and give us an insight into those years when you were creating this Josh Altman beast? Like, what was a typical day for you like? Not now that you're really the one of the most famous realtors on the planet, but how was that year 1 and year 2? What sort of activities were you undertaking then?
Well, I got to tell you, it's difficult. It was very difficult for me. I never knew what the next day was going to bring, and I just knew that I had to do something to make money. I got into this business. I didn't have a lot of money, and I didn't know many people, and I wasn't an expert in the area. So for me, it's always sticking to the core values, which is you got to love what you do, which I always loved real estate. You got to be 24/7. You got to work really, really hard. I've always been, and to this day, the first person in the office and the last person to leave. I started out like everybody else. I walked up and down the Hollywood Hills of Los Angeles till there were literally no soles left on my shoes. I mean, that's how much I door knocked. And I door knocked every door. And I really kept it basic. I cold called nonstop for hours a day. And I lived by a schedule. And I did that every day till slowly I'd pick up one listing, then another, and then another. And next thing you know, it starts to get more fun when you start making money, of course. But I started the same way as everybody else, and I have people underneath me that I mentor that I tell the same thing to. You just got to start just to basics. You can't watch $1 million listing and think that all of a sudden you're going to make millions of dollars in real estate. I've been in some aspect of real estate for over a decade now, so this didn't happen overnight. This is something that has been, worked at nonstop. I've studied the art of negotiation. I've studied how to read people. I've really mastered my craft, and I take it very seriously. It's not just opening up a door and letting somebody walk around and look at a house. That's not what I do. Some realtors do that. I just feel like that's wrong. You got to sell the house. You gotta, what I like to say, sell the dream, right? You got to sell the dream.
I remember seeing once on one of your episodes how someone was ready to accept an offer, and you were representing, saying it's not. Oh, I can't remember the wording you used, but it's against my religion to let you do that. And you went in and made him an extra $300,000 or something.
There you go. That is true. It is against my religion to let somebody pay full price. So
so that's when you're representing a buyer. Because back in Australia, to let you know, we don't have as much representing of buyers. We primarily take on listings and always represent our seller.
Oh, that's
very few
interesting.
buyers agencies there.
Oh, got it. Yeah, here in the States, I'd say probably 50-50. I represent 50% of my clients are my buyers, 50% are sellers. So it really just depends on what's going on that day and who's looking for what.
Yeah, whichever one's got you on their side as a negotiator, man, they're looking good.
I like to think so. I like to think so.
So tell me, you've kind of alluded to it, but let me directly ask you. There's been a lot of debate in Australian real estate industry of late about working hard, like I've seen you, spending the last couple of days with you. To this day, you are one of the hardest workers I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Working hard versus work-life balance. Can you just discuss that? There's a lot of people saying you can't have work-life balance. There's a lot of people saying that you need to have work-life balance and don't worry about working hard. Where does it fit for the advice that you would give the Aussie public?
Maybe I'm not the right person to ask this. I'm a workaholic, okay? I live for the deal. I live for negotiating. I absolutely love it. So I'm not the best person who has balance in his life because I love what I do so much. It's not work for me. It's just me being alive. However, many successful people, the reason why they're successful is because they're able to separate their life and work, which, might mean shutting off your phone every once in a while, which I've never done. So, but really, kind of just look. For me, the most balance is I go to the gym every morning at 7 a.m. So from 7 to 8, my mind is clear. I'm feeling good, strong body. I'm ready to roll come 8 o'clock. So that's kind of my time where it's myself and re-energizing. But otherwise, that's about it. I'm not sure that's what you want to hear.
No, man, that's good. Because I tell you, I'm on the side of, I've never yet seen an Olympian win a gold medal without a couple of years of crazy effort.
Right.
So,
and exactly. And for me, I don't have any kids right now. So it's I can afford to do that because where the market's at, look, I've been in a high market, I've been in a low market. I've been in a market where you couldn't give away a house. It was so bad. So when the market's good for me, it means that I'm hitting 24/7. I never stop because I know what it's like in a different market. And one day that will happen again. It always does.
So, mate, give us a hint of what, in fact, I'll hit you with this question first. A lot of the guys have asked about your promo video, I Sell the Dream. What's your take on outrageous advertising like that and marketing that's designed to get attention?
Got it. Well, the I Sell the Dream was, I actually did that for charity, an organization called Wounded Warrior Project, which is an organization very near and dear to my heart that helps wounded soldiers that come back from war make sure that they're taken care of. So that's why I did it. However, I always like to, have fun and joke around. Everybody on TV sees me as this very serious guy in a suit. But at the end of the day, I'm just, I'm just one of the boys who likes to have fun. So that was an idea that we came up with where people can see the other side of me. And at the same time, as a realtor, you're a walking billboard for yourself. And everything you do reflects on you and your business. And so when I did that, I said, there's no such thing as bad press. It's just, well, I guess there is bad press, but any press is good press, I guess is what we should say. So I thought that might be something cool that, I can send out. It can go viral, and a lot of people could see it. But at the end of the day, I did it because it was just something to have fun with. Yeah.
And did you call?
And no, I'm not. And I'm not trying to become a rapper. I'll not quit my day job.
One of my clients, inspired by that sort of marketing, he did one. He got like 40 million hits on YouTube. Serious.
Oh, you got to show me that.
I'll definitely get that to you. So,
however, creative marketing though is super important, especially in a highly competitive market where we are right now. I'm telling you, some of these videos of homes, where you used to walk in and just take a regular photo shoot. Now we have drones flying through the houses. Yeah. We almost make them into music videos for the houses. And, even having beautiful women laying in the pool, depending on the style of the house. You got to be creative, and you always got to be on the top of your game because somebody else is going to be right behind you waiting to get that listing.
Well, I often say to my guys that, think about real estate. We're the only business that doesn't have, primarily or historically, an avatar of our ideal client using the product.
Right.
Like advertising a BMW, there'll be someone driving the BMW in the ads.
Right.
And yet most traditional real estate photography has empty rooms and empty pools and empty houses.
Right.
We've got to fill them up with people.
So exactly. And look, as you see here, this is all staged furniture.
Yeah.
This was an empty house that's over 7,000 square feet. That's a little tough for a buyer who's not in the real estate business to kind of grasp what's going on and kind of imagine themselves living here. And so that's the reason why it's worth spending the $25,000-$30,000 in staging, because we end up in the States mostly you end up seeing that money back tenfold.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting distinction that guys, you should know that, well, Josh, you explain if you could. Our guys are used to getting the seller paid to invest in staging, invest in advertising and things. Your guys' fee might be a little higher, but you guys wear that risk of the staging and all of those costs, yeah?
Yeah, so it's a lot different here in the States. If we want to advertise the house, that's on us. So if we don't end up selling the house, we're out $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 that we spent advertising and marketing the house. So that's also why it's important to price a house correctly, because you know that it's going to sell, and make sure that your seller is realistic. Time is so important, and it's really the only thing you have, right? So if you're wasting time showing an overpriced listing or someone who's not really a seller, that's taking away good energy that you could be putting towards a property that would actually sell, and especially because we pay for the advertising.
Yeah, cool. So, mate, what have the guys got in store when they come and see you live in Australia, speaking on a stage in Australia? First time speaking. I know you've been to Australia.
Yeah, I've been to Australia. I love it. It's one of my favorite places in the world, and I'm so excited to go back and hang out with this guy over here. And I'll tell you this: I've been through it all. I've made money. I've lost money. I've flipped houses. I've financed houses. I've seen it all. And negotiating well over $1 billion in deals. I've been in every situation. And living in LA, what's nice is that I happen to represent a lot of high net worth individuals, along with celebrities, which I'm sure everybody is excited, because I talk a lot about celebrity stories, how to build your business, how to be successful in real estate, my own experiences. We'll also open it up so you can ask any questions you want to ask. I'm an open book. I got my whole life on TV at this point. Yeah. So, I'm always happy to hang out with fellow realtors or real estate investors. You're going to have a great time.
Cool, man. Let me ask you, in your early days, who were some of the people, like now you're a mentor to so many people. It's like too many people call you for advice, then you've got time to help. So that's why it's great, an event like this where you can leverage your time by helping so many people at once. Who were some of your early mentors before the fame and all that? You know, were there any speakers and trainers and guides along the way?
Yeah, so, well, really one of my mentors is my partner who you'll meet out there, Matt Altman, my brother. So being an older brother, he's a mentor of mine. My father as well, which, you know, teaching me what's important in life. And but as far as the real estate goes, there's been a couple key people that have brought me up in the business. One of them is Rick Hilton, Paris Hilton's father, who owns the firm that I'm currently at, as well as a guy named Jeff Hyland, who wrote the book on Beverly Hills Great Estates. And, you know, at this point in my career, after breaking the goals that I've had, it's time that I give back. And there's nothing that I like more than inspiring other people to be successful agents and teaching them how to do it. Look, we're not reinventing the wheel here, but there are things that have changed and there are ways to do it. If I had a mentor to help me get to where I am, I'd probably get there a lot faster. But a lot of things I had to figure out on my own. And sometimes you do, and that's okay. But, you know, at this point in my career, because I'm a coach out here, I love giving back and inspiring, and I speak all over the world.
Cool. And you mentioned giving back. That's one of our, we can now say this, our co-presenter, Arnold Schwarzenegger. We can now say that.
Got it.
Our man, Arnold.
That's pretty cool, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what's your thoughts on hanging out with the big guy?
I mean, look, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I don't care where you're from, this guy's a legend. Yeah, I've seen him before walking around Beverly Hills just because he lives around here, but I've never had a conversation with him, so I'm super excited to be on the same stage as him. From the stories that I hear, the Terminator is actually one of the nicest guys ever. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Cool. And that's one of his rules, is giving back. He's got some rules he's lived by.
Yep.
And giving back, like you just mentioned, is one of his key 6. So it's going to be great to hear his rules for sure.
There you go. Well, I'll be in the crowd, and maybe he'll give me something. I don't know.
I'm sure he will, man. He'll be giving us all everything that he's got. I've seen him speak before, and he is as good as they get. He could easily be a professional speaker. Not that he needs.
I'm sure.
Yeah, not that he needs.
What can he not do?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Wow. So, mate, what would be a final tip for someone just starting out in business? And I know they're going to get so many from your time with us down there. But give us one, if maybe someone who sees this won't be able to make it to Brisbane or something, because this will be seen all over the place.
Got it.
What's a tip for someone just starting out in real estate who's got stars in their eyes, they've seen a few episodes of $1 Million Listing, and they're ready to take on the world?
Yeah, look, the most important thing, and I tell it over and over and over and over again, get a mentor, okay? When I first got into the business, the first few deals that I ended up picking up were sitting open houses of more successful agents that didn't have time to be everywhere. I said, listen, I'll do anything to help you out on your properties. And you know, they'd say, okay, why don't you sit this house that weekend? And I'd end up picking up buyers through then. It's very important to have somebody guide you to be successful. Again, it's having someone next to you who's done it, has the advice that you need, can kind of tell you the pros and the cons and what they should be concentrating on. Get a mentor. It's the most important thing. You know, all this coaching stuff that we do, there are reasons why we do this. And it's very, very successful. It's been successful for years and years. So that would be the one thing. If you can't make it, make sure you call somebody who, or link up with someone who can teach you the ropes.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And mate, just for some of my boys who just love it, we got Michael Spillane, Zach McCarty, the fans out there of $1 Million Listing, Peter Kafkas, they've all said, any hints for season 8? Tell me, did you get that $100 million piece of property on the beach marketed? Is it going? Are you allowed to give anything away? Hints for the upcoming season.
What do you think? Do you think I would, come on, do you think I would turn down a $100 million listing? I'll tell you this. With the market as good as it is, and as much money with commissions on the line, there's always going to be a ton of drama. I mean, this season's going to be wilder than ever before.
And that's saying something, man. We've seen some of your drama, mate.
There's definitely drama. You're not going to want to miss that. But you're also going to see us grow to a different level. You know, the Altman brothers now, we're an international company. You know, when we started, we were just 2 brothers trying to make some money. Now we sell houses all over the world. We've built our business up. And so it's exciting for everybody to see kind of where we've gone. since we originally met.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we saw once in one episode, you and Matt go head to head, man, where you're negotiating against each other. I feel the boys love that one.
That happens all the time. You know, we're brothers, so we always like to one up each other, if it's in business or in life. So that's always a good dynamic to see the two of us working together. And also when working with a partner, you know, there's lots of it's not always easy, and there's lots of tricks and rules and ways to be successful with a partner as well, because that's a whole different game. But I got to tell you, having a partner that I can trust and I know can represent me as good as I can represent him, it's really helped our business catapult to the top. I mean, we've sold the most expensive one-bedroom in the country ever, which was $20 million. We got a $100 million listing in Marina Del Rey. Let's see what else. I hold the record for the most expensive lease in the history of Beverly Hills, which was $85,000 a month for 4 years. I hold the record for the most expensive condo ever sold in Santa Monica for almost $12 million for a condo. So I've been around the block, and I can't wait to see you guys. You know, me and Glenn, we're not gonna, you know, just show up. We're gonna knock this thing out of the park, and we're gonna leave no doubt that this will be the best event in Australian history.
Very cool, folks. So I can't close any better than that, so I'm going to leave it. Josh Altman from $1 Million Listing Man, thank you so much for hanging out, bro.
Good to see you, man.
Thanks, man.
I'll see you in Australia.
We'll see you there, folks. Bye for now.
Bye, folks.